Once upon a time, in a small Italian town so charming it looked like it belonged on a postcard, government officials decided it was time for a moment with the nation. With the pomp of someone about to announce a brand new gelato flavor, they ordered everyone to turn on their radios and televisions at noon. The country's leader would deliver a speech so important it would make Big Ben seem like a wristwatch. The whole town buzzed with anticipation, wondering if they'd get an extra holiday or if soccer was about to be banned. As the pre-speech tension bubbled, we meet Renato, a young dreamer about to embark on a two-wheeled adventure. He and his father went to the shop to pick up his brand new bike, a gleaming chrome rocket. The mechanic, with the seriousness of a surgeon, explained how to take care of it, as if the bicycle were a baby dragon needing both affection and lubrication. Renato soaked it all in, probably thinking more about popping wheelies than tightening bolts. With his shiny new prize, Renato pedaled through town, ready to show it off to his friends. But instead of a cheering crowd, he found people gathered in the streets, ears glued to loudspeakers. The leader's speech, expected to be about tomato taxes or a new pasta recipe, dropped a bombshell. Italy had declared war on France. Renato's bike joy was swallowed up by the gravity of the news. Well, that escalated quickly, he must have thought, not knowing his life was about to take an unexpected turn. When he finally found his friends, they were more impressed by the bike than the war declaration. But their excitement didn't last long. Suddenly, one of the girls shouted, "Quiet, she's coming!" with the urgency of someone spotting an incoming asteroid. Everyone froze against the wall like statues in a museum. Who's she? Renato wondered, until the answer arrived in the form of Molina, the most stunning woman in town, gliding down the street like the very embodiment of beauty. The moment Renato saw her, an electric current shot through him, one that made lightning look like a weak battery. Love at first sight, or maybe his first shock of infatuation. It was that life-changing moment when your heart races and you just know, my life will never be the same. Molina passed by, and Renato and his friends, caught in a frenzy of youthful obsession, pedaled after her like ducklings chasing their mother. From that day on, Molina mania spread through the boys of the town like an epidemic, with Renato leading the charge for even the slightest glimpse of their goddess. One afternoon, emboldened by the courage of a lion, or maybe just a lovesick kitten, Renato went to Molina's house. Watching from afar like a pint-sized spy, he was stunned when she actually opened the door and invited him inside. Moving in slow motion, he stepped toward her. With a soft voice, she asked him for a cigarette. Handing it to her, Renato felt another electric jolt so strong he nearly dropped the ashtray. And then, he woke up. It had all been a dream. One of those vivid ones that leave you dazed, like when you dream you're flying and wake up on the floor. But the dream left its mark. Feeling like a man now, at least in his own mind, Renato gave himself a style upgrade. He stole his father's pants, hacked them with scissors, and even gave himself a haircut. The result? A total disaster. When his father discovered the ruined trousers, Renato got a beating. His obsession with Molina only deepened, even though she was married and her husband was away fighting in World War II. Renato wasn't the only one. From the baker to the mayor, every man in town dreamed of her, while the women despised her for exactly the same reason. One night, Renato climbed a tree near her house. Don't ask why the window had a hole. It's Italy. And spied on her. Molina was sewing old clothes, dressed in a nightgown that made Renato nearly faint. Afterward, she put on a record and danced, clutching a photo of her husband. For Renato, it was pure fantasy fuel. Personally, I'd never climb a tree to spy on someone, much riskier than, say, bumping into her at the bakery with a fresh loaf of bread in hand. The next day, he bought the same cassette she had played, and that night he lay in bed listening, imagining her with such intensity it would make a poet blush. He soon realized Molina was constantly surrounded by admirers, men watching her every move, women watching with scorn. But behind the glamorous image, Molina was simply a devoted daughter, caring daily for her aging father. Then came tragedy. News arrived that Molina's husband had been killed in the war. The town mourned, but for many men, it only fueled their lust, seeing her as available now. Disgusted by their predatory stares, Renato dreamed of protecting her, even imagining himself kissing her forehead and vowing to guard her when he grew up. But dreams dissolved quickly, and reality snapped him back. In his obsession, Renato stole a piece of Molina's laundry one day and treated it like a sacred relic until his furious father caught him red-handed. His mother burned the evidence, his father thrashed him, and Renato was locked in his room. He staged a hunger strike until the doctor ordered his release, diagnosing him with a simple need for fresh air. His father, knowing better, took him to a place where Renato could, let's say, relieve himself in a healthier way. Meanwhile, Molina's life spiraled downward. After being accused of stealing husbands, she was dragged through the streets, beaten, and humiliated by the women of town. Her father disowned her. She turned to men for money, surviving by trading her dignity for survival. When she finally tried to reinvent herself with a new haircut and bold attitude, she discovered society's cruel hypocrisy. No one cared about her when she sought dignity, but when she sold herself, suddenly everyone wanted her. Renato watched in pain as Molina descended into this life, fainting from the turmoil until his mother hauled him to church to break the spell. His father, again practical, knew it wasn't witchcraft, but teenage hormones. Then, the war ended. The town erupted in celebration, but it quickly turned dark. The women unleashed their long-harbored hatred on Molina, dragging her through the streets, ripping her clothes, and cutting her hair. Broken and shamed, she left town. Days later, a miracle, Molina's husband returned, alive though missing a hand. He discovered the town's betrayal and what his wife had endured. With quiet strength, he sought her out. Eventually, he found her, and the couple returned together, walking proudly side by side. The town, stunned, could only watch. That's true love. One day, Molina went to the market alone. This time, instead of scorn, the women greeted her with polite good mornings. Confused but dignified, she returned the courtesy. On her way home, she dropped a few groceries. Renato, quick as lightning, rushed to help. Summoning new courage, he called out, "Good luck, Molina." She turned, smiled, and in that fleeting moment, Renato finally had his connection with the woman who had changed his life forever. And that's where we'll end the story. Thanks for watching, take care, and I hope you'll support me in the next videos.